Welcome to News Analysis, coming to you live on Politics and Business Television, Abuja. Good afternoon. Many thanks for joining us. I'm Mickey Atta. And the headlines. El-Rufai's doctor's arrest. ADC gives Tinubu ultimatum. PFIPC scandal. Only independent inquiry acceptable, says ADC. We won't dabble into presidency, PEAC, PFIPC controversy, says Senate. Soldiers, MDLEA arrest suspected terrorist drug suppliers in Katsina. Zulum approves 1.65 billion naira scholarship for 300 orphans and others. Joint venture project, 15-year gas supply deal secured. On the foreign scene, U.S. President Trump announces cutoff of U.S. trade with Spain. Details of these and more after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. The African Democratic Congress, ADC, has accused President Bola Tinubu's administration of political persecution following the reported arrest of the personal physician of former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai and the alleged assault on his wife. In a statement issued by its National Publicity Secretary Bolaji Abdullahi, the party alleged that officials of the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission ICPC prevented El-Rufai from receiving medical treatment at the National Hospital Abuja. The ADC also urged President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to take responsibility for the actions of the Anti-Corruption Agency, insisting that the president could not distance himself from the matter. The party has demanded immediate and unrestricted access for El-Rufai to his family, legal team, and medical practitioners, as well as a review of his bail conditions, improved detention conditions, and compliance with constitutional and in a separate press release from the African Democratic Congress, the party says it has taken note of President Bola Tinubu's directive to the ICPC to investigate the Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council PFIPC scandal. The ADC, in a statement, says it is, however, insistent Council PEAC PFIPC Prince Adeniyi Adeyemi. Speaking on the issue on Tuesday, the chairman, Senate Committee on Media and Public Affairs, Senator Yemi Adaramodu, said the Senate could only act on a petition either from the parties involved in the controversy or from the public, since the insertion was not done by the legislator. The Senate also clarified that the reported fake agency's budget line in the 2026 budget did not come from the Senate, but came as part of executive insertions, which should not be blamed on the legislator. In collaboration with the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, have arrested 3 suspected drug traffickers accused of supplying illicit substances to terrorists and other criminal groups in Kafur local government area of Katsina State. The suspects were apprehended during a joint intelligence-led operation in Kagara village. The suspects and recovered exhibits have been handed over to the NDLEA for further investigation and possible prosecution. Security agencies say the operation is part of ongoing efforts to dismantle the drug supply. Professor Babagana Zulum has approved the release of 1.649 billion naira to settle outstanding scholarship obligations for the 2024-2025 academic session, including the support for 300 orphans of counter-insurgency volunteers and other students in tertiary institutions within Nigeria and abroad. The Executive Secretary of the Borno State Scholarship Board, Dr. Bala Issa, said the funds will cover tuition, accommodation, and allowances for students in various institutions, including medical students in Azare and Maiduguri, as well as students of the Nigerian Institute of Leather Science and Technology in Zaria, and nursing students under the state scholarship scheme. The package also provides return airfares for postgraduate and PhD STEM scholars studying in India and Malaysia, as well as undergraduate students in China. Dr. Issa said disbursement to institutions, beneficiaries, and service providers has commenced in line with government procedures. And you're still watching news analysis right here on Politics and Business Television, Abuja. Still to come, first indigenous floating liquefied natural gas.
Tired of the bad TV signals? Nigeriality 388-7277. Free TV, digital TV for free. Brought to you by NBC.
Countdown is over. The world is ready. From June 11th to July 19th, football takes center stage as the biggest FIFA World Cup in history unfold across the United States, Canada, and Mexico. 48 nations, 104 matches, countless moments of drama, passion, and glory. Join Abel Sunday and the PMB TV Sports team as we bring you exclusive preview, expert analysis, match review, breaking stories, and everything you need to know from the FIFA World Cup 2026. Who will rise? Who will fall? Which nation will lift football's most coveted trophy? From the group stage battle to the grand finale, PMB TV is your home for the road to World Cup glory. Don't miss a moment of the action. Tune in daily from June 11, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. through July 19th with comprehensive World Cup coverage. FIFA World Cup 2026 on PMB TV. One word, one game, one champion. PMB TV bringing the beautiful game closer to you. For sponsorship, contact Abel Sunday on 081 499 15988.
You don't tire for this picture. We are make you follow Unurodo. Nigeria don't go digital with free TV. Over 100 channels they with you, sports, news, and better entertainment for your own language. No matter where you dey, whether for city or whether for village, the satellite signal they reach every corner of Nigeria from day one. No monthly payment again. Once you get to bring it free to air decoder, you don't win. This one now our own national asset. Even from your phone, you feel watch out. Just download the free TV app and carry your TV go anywhere you go. Scan that code now or call 0700-388-7277. Free TV, digital TV for free. Brought to you by Decoder. You don't win. This one now our own national asset. Even from your phone, you feel watch out. Just download the free TV app and carry your TV go anywhere you go. Scan that code now or call 0700-388-7277. Free TV, digital TV for free. Brought to you by NBC.
You're welcome back. You're still watching Politics and Business Television, and it's still news analysis. At this moment, we are going to go straight into our focus of the day. And here we are going to be looking at the legal angles of the PEAC-PFIPC controversy. Now, let me just give you a background of what happened. On June 25, 2026, at a press conference, Prince Adeyemi accused President Tinubu's Chief of Staff, Femi Gbajabiamila, of collecting bribes. Adeyemi, who identified himself as the Director General of the alleged Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council, had claimed that Gbajabiamila had demanded a share of the council's purported 27.4 billion naira takeoff grant. Now, there's so much I'm going to tell you as a background, but let me just introduce our guest. Right now, I'm being joined by Mr. Chele, who is a chieftain of the Africa Democratic Congress, ADC. He's also a stakeholder in the Nigerian polity, and he is joining us by Zoom. Let me not say live. He's joining us virtually, and he is going to examine some of the legal aspects as well as the controversies concerning this situation. All right, you're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Good morning, viewers.
Thank you very much for joining us. Okay, so let me just give a very brief background for those people who mightn't have heard the whole situation. Adeyemi, who identified himself as the Director General of the alleged Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council, had claimed that Gbajabiamila had demanded a share of the council's purported 27 billion takeoff grant, had received 400 million naira through proxies, had requested an additional 200 million naira to facilitate his appointment. Now, we do know the presidency has dismissed the council as a fictitious agency, stating that Adeyemi forged official appointment letters, but the same federal government on Tuesday, the human rights lawyer Femi Falana called the press and told us that the father of Adeyemi Adeniyi, self-proclaimed Director General of the PFIPC, has been picked up in Ogbomoso in Oyo State. Now, the ADC has come out with a statement asking that the current position of the federal government, which is to ask the ICPC to investigate and give a 30-day report, is not acceptable. What exactly? Give us the background of what the ADC is saying about the current directive to the ICPC by the president.
Well, thank you once again. The issue is that an apparent fraud has taken place right under the noses of Mr. President. And they are pushing it to ICPC. Now, we know that the law establishing ICPC gives them that function. But that is why the formal report is made. Nonetheless, if they do unraveling that matter at all.
Oh, well, some people are saying that apart from an internal investigation, that the president's chief of staff should be asked to step aside. Some are saying he should be outrightly dismissed. Others are saying that he should go on suspension in order to make the investigation, wholesome and without any interference from him. What's your take on that?
Well, of course, those are simple administrative procedures when a public officer is being investigated. Because when that proposal, and the National Assembly approved it, then that we should be told that is the issue. But if it was not in the proposal by the presidency, it was inserted by the National Assembly, looking at that agency, and then there is the appropriate
legal team from Pinero LP has responded by issuing a 72-hour ultimatum to Adeyemi. They are threatening a 10 billion naira defamation lawsuit over the bribery and murder allegations. Now, already, should I say, the accuser with a defamation lawsuit. What do you make of all these legal back and forths?
No. First of all, this is a public officer who is within the reach of government.
Right.
This discussion started several weeks back. He was available.
June 25.
Any attempt to arrest him. Another evidence that there is no commitment to investigating this matter. Now, regarding the lawsuit, yes, determine whether.
Okay. Nothing wrong with doing that. Well, let's just dive a little bit away from that situation right now and talk about the ordeal, let's put it that way, of the former Kaduna State governor, who's also a chieftain of your party. Now, the latest news is how his doctor had been arrested, how he's being denied medical treatment at the...
done with impunity. It just shows that our democracy is a sham.
Okay, so in a nutshell, this all seems like political prosecution and not like a straightforward legal battle.
Certainly, because there are many people right inside this government who have criminal charges against them, possibly bigger than that, and they don't have immunity as far as the law is concerned. They're not being prosecuted. We don't have to think about it that this is the government that says, and the party that says, once you come over to the APC, all your sins are forgiven. And we have many of them there who were having very massive EFCC cases on their hands. But the moment they won elections or they got appointed to government, nobody's talking about it again. And they are not people who are by law have any immunity. They are still subject to prosecution in the offices they occupy. But they are staying there, enjoying their freedom without prosecution. And this is a person who has served us his tenure, yes. Under the law, he's entitled to, he's liable to be called to answer questions regarding his stewardship. But it doesn't mean that he will be treated in a manner that is unworthy of a person who has rendered service to the nation. So we believe it's a political persecution. And we will not be surprised if the idea of the government will just be to keep him there. We have heard news about Intel regarding even the safety of his life. And we feel that the government should come clean of those allegations. Otherwise, if they continue along that path, the public may be pushed into believing that those suggestions are the truth.
But something puzzling to a lot of people is that El-Rufai has said categorically that he's not contesting for any position. He does not want any political elective position whatsoever. He's not competing for anything. Why is the searchlight, the beam light, so strong on him in particular?
Well, he's a very vocal politician, so he doesn't need to contest. But if he's supporting those who are contesting and is able to move around and pass a message, they know that it's as good as him contesting himself. And of course, if he's contesting maybe for an office lower than the presidency, and then you'll be confined to maybe a state or somewhere. But if he's afloat the way he is, it means he can campaign for all candidates from the House of Assembly up to the presidency. And I think the government should find that, not very comfortable with them, the way they want things to operate. So we believe that is the basis. Let him come out and get back to his work as an opposition politician. And then the government should do its best to see if they can get themselves elected for a second term.
Okay, let's go back to this VBFIBC/BEAC controversy. It's quite a mouthful for one to be able to swallow, but it threw up so many questions that left more people more confused than ever. Now, do you think that the position of the Senate, because this morning the Senate now said they are not in any position to dabble into the controversy because they have not received any petition, they've not received any, either from the public or from within themselves about the issue. Meanwhile, a budget was defended before them. Do you think they are right to say that they cannot dabble into it because they haven't gotten any petition?
Well, what I believe is that the issue before us now is a criminal, accusation against several persons. First of all, the Adeyemi himself, also against the executive women, which may have submitted the budget. But I also say that sometimes budget cuts can be introduced by the National Assembly itself. I believe that the National Assembly should be able to at least say, look, this budget proposal came from the executive, not from us.
That's what they're saying.
That question. If they don't say that, I just say we have no petition or complaint. I think there are so many complaints in the public, in the newspapers, on television, on radio, and the Senate is a member of the public. And the law requires that they should take judicial notice of happenings within the society. So they cannot come clean in the manner of saying that they have no direct petition. We expect their commentary on the matter. If they are saying, look, we have checked our records, and there is evidence that in the budget proposal submitted by the executive, this agency was there, and we approved what the executive proposed, at least they would have put their house in a certain position of ease from suspicion.
Right.
But if they just say we we can't say anything because we have no petition. I think that's all right. They don't have to write a letter addressed to the president of the Senate or the Speaker of the House. If the whole media is shouting that you are rubber stamp, you are rubber stamp, is that not sufficient for you to rise up and come clean of that allegation? Particularly now that something has been said, huge amounts of money are being appropriated for an agency that is said to be non-existent. And then you say that there's no complaint. I don't believe that. I was a member of that institution, so I know better. And I was a member of the House Committee on Appropriation, and I know that the committee has responsibilities. They must come clean.
Okay, well, the Senate. Let me just see what give you what the Senate. Let me see. He's the the chairman of the Senate Committee on Media and Public Affairs, Yemi Adaramodu. Well, he is saying that the Senate reported that the fake agency's budget line in the 2026 budget did not come from the Senate, but came as part of executive insertions. Says the executive insertions, and that they should not be blamed on the legislator. Now, as much as he's saying they shouldn't be blamed for it,
invited certain persons at this point to answer to the allegations that have been put forward.
Right. Do you think that shows lack of interest, or would it be a case of turning a blind eye? Because the allegations are so, because, I mean, they're so 10-pronged. You have an office. Who would have allocated you an office? Can you imagine me going to have an office in the Federal Secretariat? You have staff. You have a budget. You have an account in the central bank. So at that point, should the Senate now, would you really say that they are disinterested, or they are just looking in some other direction? I want to get the words from you.
Of course, I mean, there is more to it. The man says has a letter of appointment. They are saying the letter of appointment is forged, but he has an office in the Federal Secretariat. I don't know whether the office is also forged. He has a budget. I don't know whether the budget is forged. For an agency that is dealing with foreign personalities and functionaries, I expect that they should have some link with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs too. Otherwise, it will mean you have a separate office again just because of foreign investments. So much has transpired. So much transaction has taken place that when you look at this matter, you say you're not interested in carrying an investigation. It means that you simply don't want to do it. Otherwise, this shouldn't have been the case. And by the way, the time we started hearing about this matter, I tell you, it was within the shores of Nigeria. We hear of countries, by the time something comes up like that, we are seeing those people who are involved either in handcuffs or at least being under arrest by relevant agencies. How come that nobody took interest in him while these discussions were going on? And until the time they wanted, I don't know whether they asked him to leave the country or to leave, to go into hiding so that he go and arrest his father. That is a sham. It is just, an insult on the intelligence of Nigerians. The guy is an adult. You can't go and be worrying his old father, who is whoever he is, because of his misconduct, which, in inverted commas, is the rendering service to Nigeria at the highest level.
At the level of the presidency. Right. Yes. It's honestly, the controversy is still ongoing, still lingering. But when you juxtapose that with the ordeal of Nasir El-Rufai, who is only being accused, like they said, of some maybe overreach or alleged misappropriation when he was in government, then how do you marry the two? That's the part that leaves Nigerians with these unanswered questions about should I say, the fairness of it. It creates question marks about this fairness, which the ADC seems to be the highest beneficiary of the of the imbalance, like they say, in the hands of the lady carrying the scales of justice.
Yeah, I just said it, and I mean, El-Rufai is not a person in hiding. He's a public figure. He's a person who is always available to the public. He served out his tenure. He's being queried for his stewardship. And then you think that he is such a dangerous person that must not, be put on bail. Then you have another person who has committed fraud in various stages, some of which have been admitted. Because people say that the agency is not existent, is illegal. At least you have established that that man was presiding over an illegal agency. That is sufficient evidence for him to be in custody. And then you're not putting him in custody. Why these allegations were flying all over, you allowed him his freedom to be going about, and then now you want to tell Nigerians that you can't find him. It is his father that you can find. But meanwhile, El-Rufai, who returned from abroad on his own volition to come and answer this, you now think is the one who must be under custody. So we say it is all political gimmick. Is all in the effort to frustrate and triangulate the opposition, and nothing more pretentious.
But with all like you said, with the alleged attempts at frustrating the opposition, various opposition parties to have various stories of pains and seeming, should I say, persecution. What does that speak of for the 2027 general elections? Are the opposition parties going to possibly run out of steam? Will they keep on fighting? Will they keep on being distracted? Will 2027 elections hold?
No, they are making efforts to distract us, and we are not distracted, and we refuse to be distracted because we are 53% sure that we are going to send this government packing. So we can allow them the 48% to be playing around with why the time lasts. So we cannot be frustrated. We know what we are doing, and we are taking every step to ensure that all the shenanigans that they are putting in our path are cleared at the time that they do not affect our chances in the 2027 election. And I can assure you that it's out of fright that the government is doing these things. They are simply afraid. That's why they are doing this. Otherwise, if they had any cause of confidence that they are a government that can go before the people of Nigeria and ask them for another term, they wouldn't do these things because they are afraid. So I think that as far as the opposition is concerned, we are not really bothered. We'll continue to fight for our rights, both of individuals and our corporate rights as political parties, and ensure that we go into the 2027 election strong with one single mind of winning that election.
Going with one single mind of winning the election. However, some Nigerians are getting a little bit scared that the way things are going, will there be elections in 2025? In 2027? Do you entertain that fear?
Well, if the government decides to rock the boat, that will be on their side. But what we know is that if ever 2027 elections will hold, ADC will be on the ballot, and ADC will be there to win, not just to contest. But if the government is unable to manage itself and rock the boat, unfortunately, we're not in a position to help them, because our own help has been coming by way of criticism, constructive criticisms at that. And now, if they take our constructive criticisms, I'm sure the boat will not rock. But should they continue to ignore reasonable criticisms and suggestions, then they may have themselves to blame. But I can assure you that for us in the opposition, we are ready for the 2027 elections. and the ADC is prepared to go in as a winner, not just a contestant.
Right. Thank you very, very much. Wow, you've really given us a whole lot of insights into what, not just the ADC, but let's just put it as a broad spectrum of what the opposition sees as some of the controversies concerning the controversy itself of this PFIPC, as well as the PEAC, as well as the funny, should I say, steep bail conditions that await Nasir El-Rufai. Thank you very, very much indeed, Mr. Chile Igbagwa, for all those insights you've given us. And I hope whenever we call you, you'll be available on our station to give us more insights like you've done today. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
All right. Yes, that has been the focus of the day on news analysis on Politics and Business Television, speaking with Mr. Chile Igbagwa. Well, still to come, we're going to inform you with us.
Imagine say television, movies, news and entertainment dey your pocket, just like that. Welcome to Free TV app. Now the #1 digital TV app for Nigeria. Free TV app get over 100 live TV channels, breaking news, sports, Nollywood movies, small pikin shows and plenty more inside one app. No decoder wahala, no plenty setup. Just download, open, begin the watch. To get the app, just search Free TV for Google Play Store or Free TV.English for Apple App Store, or scan the QR code for your screen. Registration will take you seconds. You fit use phone number, email, WhatsApp, Google or Apple ID. OTP even dey, so make your account stay safe. For inside the app, the live TV section get over 100 licensed channels with program guide, pause, rewind and catch up. Free TV no be ordinary app. Now digital revolution. Download Free TV today. Imagine say.
Thank you very much for staying with us. Good to know that you are still there. Right, we're diving straight into the world of business now, and a 15-year wet gas sale and purchase agreement, GSPA, has been signed between the NNPC Seplat Energy Joint Venture, SEPNU, and the UTM Floating Liquefied Natural Gas, UTM FLNG Limited. The signing secures feed gas for the country's first indigenous floating liquefied natural gas FLNG project. The agreement was signed on the sidelines of the Nigeria Oil and Gas Energy Week conference in Abuja. It provides for the supply of 200 million standard cubic feet of gas per day to the UTM FNLG facility over a 15-year period. Speaking at the signing ceremony, the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources Gas, Right Honorable Ekperipe Ekpo, described the agreement as a major step towards achieving Nigeria's gas commercialization and energy transition objectives. Ekpo said the project would support the federal government's industrialization agenda. That includes creating jobs, promoting local content development, as well as attracting fresh investments into the gas value chain. Ekpo also said the government would continue to prioritize reforms that position Nigeria as a gas-powered economy. Now we go on to the foreign scene right away, and the US President Donald Trump said on Wednesday at a NATO summit that he's ordered his Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent to cut off all trade with Spain. He's calling Madrid a terrible party. General Mark Rutte, at the start of the summit in Ankara, said he wanted no business with Spain. Trump has repeatedly expressed frustration with Spain, which has not agreed to NATO's new defense spending target of 5% of GDP, and whose socialist leadership refused to let the US use its airspace or bases on its territory for the Iran war. And now, Lionel Messi, the Argentine sports icon, has again written his name in the history books with another fantastic victory. Well, for these stories and many more on the sports scene. Let's join Abel Sunday right away for P&B Sports Update. Hello, welcome to P&B Sport News Update. I'm Abel Sunday. Defending champions Argentina are through to the quarterfinals of this after its stunning 3-2 comeback win over Egypt. Trailing by 2 goals, Lionel Messi inspired a furious 3-goal bliss in just 14 minutes. But the drama isn't just on the scoreboard. Egypt's camp is furious, alleging heavy referee bias towards the South Americans. Meanwhile, co-host USA are officially out, failing 4-1 to Belgium. That match was completely red card suspension. Over to tennis, Novak Djokovic just survived exhausting 5-hour 5-set marathon at Wimbledon. He advanced to set up a blockbuster semi-final clash against Janasina. On the women's side, Karolina Mozjova knocked out Naomi Osaka, booked her ticket to face Coco Gauff. And finally, in Olympics news, the LOC has provisionally lifted Russia's suspension, opening the door for their athletes to compete at the Los Angeles